got through my. This is
Yep, it's live.
We are live. We live and we live on hold on. We was live on TikTok. We still live on TikTok. It's just falling down. It's just falling down. It's just falling down. But you know what? I'm about to rock and roll with it. I'm about to rock and roll with it for a second. And I'm just going to say welcome, everyone, to the first 2026 edition of the No Jazz Show, NOJASSSHOW. I'm your host, KD. Happy New Year to everyone. This 6th day in, after this final week of the NFL season. And as we all like to say, the quarterfinals, no, the semifinals, Final Four of CFP. That's the college football playoffs, to those of you who don't know. But before we get into all of that, I just want to make sure everyone is joining us on Facebook at NIVEKZDUPONT live. Want to make sure everyone is joining us live on YouTube at No Jazz Show, NOJASSSHOW live. Live on TikTok at NOJASSSHOW. I should have just said the same spelling. Live on Twitch. And we still don't know what Twitch means.
But we twitching.
I tell you what, anybody who lost after Sunday in the NFL was twitching. So we're going to get into that. We're going to get into that. Also live on our page, which is the No Jazz Show. Click that link on Facebook. You can join us on Instagram. Follow us on Instagram, at THE No Jazz Show. And No Jazz Show on X. And before I begin, without further ado, I want to say Happy New Year to my boy. I shouldn't say that. To my partner. I shouldn't say that either. To my ace. My pilot. I don't like to say co-pilot because he always there with me in the trenches. My main man. Always a pleasure. Hey.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? What's going on?
Yes, indeed.
Quick question, because you said Happy New Year. Like you said, we're 6 days in. When is it no longer acceptable to say Happy New Year? After a certain period of days, or is it after you see a person for the first time?
I think it's more like, I want to say, the first time within the 30-day period that you see that person or to speak to that person. That's how I do it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So if you don't see them until March, do you say Happy New Year? Or do you say, hey, where you been?
Hey, where you been, man?
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's hey, where you been? It's more like Happy St. Patrick's Day or something. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Cause I'm like, hold on. Yeah. It's more like Happy St. Patrick's Day or something like that. Cause I mean, after January, I'm pretty sure everyone in their New Year's resolutions, they either are keeping them or not keeping them at that point in time. So it's pretty much like whatever. And then after Valentine's Day, I don't know if it's happy for a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You going into the tax season. I don't know how happy they are.
Mm-hmm.
So it all depends on how you look at it, man. I guess that's how that is. It all depends on how you look at it. But nevertheless, man, a lot of us are feeling good, feeling great. I'm pretty sure you're feeling good, feeling great. Oh, yeah.
Just need to stretch.
Yeah.
Yeah, just need to stretch right quick. I'll be right back.
Yeah, go ahead and get your stretch on.
Yeah.
Go ahead and get your stretch on. Go ahead and get your stretch on.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize I had this on.
You didn't realize you had it on?
No, I didn't realize I had this on.
Man.
Hey. We can get into it later.
Yeah, we can get into it later. I saw a graphic of and we're gonna get into that later, but I got to talk about this graphic. To the left of the goalpost, it was Harbaugh gets fired.
Mm-hmm.
In the middle of the goalpost, as you're making it straight through, it was Tomlin getting fired. Mm-hmm. And to the right of the goalpost, it was Harbaugh getting fired.
Yeah, we know what happened with that.
And we know what happened with that. We definitely know what happened with that. But nevertheless, man, let's get into these topics, man. I won't necessarily say, because I think we'll start with the NFL, because let's be clear. Pittsburgh, Baltimore mattered. San Francisco, Seattle mattered. You could, by default, say Atlanta, New Orleans mattered. In when you're looking at the Tampa Bay Bucks situation. But really, this was everybody's who wasn't in the playoffs per se, final test to see if your key would be working.
Oh, Denver and New England Chargers mattered.
Denver and the Chargers
mattered.
Denver and the Chargers did matter.
Seeding for the Patriots.
For the seeding, you're right. That did matter. That mattered. So yeah, we were checking all those things out, and just making sure that was straight. So when you look at it, who do you think? Because you know what we about to get into. Hold on right quick. Oh, not really hold on, but I got to make sure it's something. There we go. I knew I was looking a little light skinned for some strange reason. But at any rate, when you really think about it, man, who do you think was biting their nails? Like from a player's perspective, coaching definitely on Sunday morning when they woke up. Well, we kind of know by the way they got fired, but do you think there were any surprises?
I do think, as far as who got fired,
before we get into the list,
I think a surprise was, to me, it was kind of surprising, or let's say it wasn't as deserved. Harbaugh's being fired, I don't think was really deserved after the things that he'd done. But I think everybody else knew they were gone. And I wouldn't be surprised if the axe fell one more time.
And before we get into playing Paul Bunyan, let's get into the names, because that axe was falling majorly.
Yeah.
All right. I just want to get it on over with, man.
Yeah.
I want to start there because of where I'm going. So
okay.
You already mentioned Jim Harbaugh.
John.
Sorry about that, Jim. You in. You know, and there goes that. There goes, well, I don't say there it goes, but they've already had the brothers meeting for the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
So we didn't have anybody in the boardroom trying to, you know, persuade us to say, you know, we got to get that another year. As I go down this list now, as you say, John Harbaugh, he probably was the most surprising name. I'm surprised that they actually fired him and not let him step down. I believe that there was some talks going on, and am I to say that it was a him or me thing where it pertains to Lamar or Harbaugh, like it was Belichick or Brady?
Yeah, I think that was probably it. And the things that came out regarding Lamar and his video game habits, his late night habits, and his not wanting to come in the morning for practice, and Harbaugh letting it occur as far as the change in practice times because Lamar didn't like to practice in the morning.
Absolutely.
According to the article.
According to the article.
Yeah, man, it's one of those things where 175 million. He's in another year. He'll probably be asking to get the contract extension this year, you know, during this off season. So you're talking about another maybe 200 million. We're gonna we're gonna side with a $200 million player, or we're gonna side with a coach who's probably making 10 or 15 million a year.
And it's always more than likely, with the exception of what happened in New England, it's always more than likely going to be the coach.
Yeah. I know there were rumors about possibly him being gone, which I was aware of, but I just think overall with his record and the success that he's had there, that was still kind of surprising to me, especially when it came down to that last play. And had it gone through, was he on? You know, he would have been there. And let's say if he would have gotten in, would he be gone after being one and done? If they were one and done, would he be gone?
Right.
Or, you know, because they would have had, he would have had, I believe they would have had to make a serious push, at least the conference championship, in order for his job to be safe if they fired him this quickly. I think it was
I think your coach is one and done.
We're gonna get into that. I don't think we're gonna be one and done.
No. Not one and done as a player, but I'm just saying he might be on the not one and done as a team. But if you all don't win,
I'm not sure about that. I got some reasons why I say that we can get into later. But yeah, Harbaugh was surprising, especially he's averaged 10 wins per season since he's been there for 18 years. Talking about Harbaugh, and he's only missed the playoffs 6 times in those 18 years. So
that is a pretty good record.
Yeah. It's not like we're talking about Jeff Fisher.
You know, Jeff Fisher was always keeping a job. Now, next on that list, and I hate to see this, not necessarily as far as a coach, but we're getting, in a sense, 2 young quarterbacks that are about to see new coaches early in their career. And the first one being Brian Callahan of the Tennessee Titans, who was also let go on Black Monday. I like to call it Black Week. And everybody always just making these decisions. But Cam Ward has to now, because that's probably going to be a part of the interview process. You know, do you like Cam Ward? You know, what offensive coordinator can work with Cam Ward if you're definitely putting together a new staff. So there's a lot going on where the Callahan situation is concerned, and we got to kind of watch that closely and pay close attention to how that develops as far as his career is concerned, because we have seen new coaches come in with the ideology that, hey, we just picked this rookie franchise quarterback, we want him to be the future, and when a lot of things don't play out in the manner in which you want them to play out as a coach, you're looking at it like, hey, I accepted who you all gave me coming in. How is this my fault?
Right.
So, we're going to have to watch how that develops.
Yeah. And also, could this be a Cliff Kingsbury situation where he comes in and gets rid of the guy to draft his quarterback in the first round after only having had him there for 1 year, like they did Rosen to get Kyler Murray? Could that be something that's on the table for whoever the incoming coach is? Yeah, I mean, because again, hey, that's not my guy. That's not who I want to tie my wagon to. He doesn't play the kind of ball I like. He doesn't do well the things that I want a quarterback to do for me. So, there has to be that. I'm sure that's going to come into discussion as well when they start the interviewing process.
Absolutely. Then we have the inevitable Brian Daboll. And that coach, you know what? The new coach too, I'm pretty sure he's going to have to deal with, having them a new rookie franchise quarterback that he has to say, this is who I'm willing to develop, going in.
And also the GM is still there. So
the GM is still there.
Hey, everybody won't say, well, he got rid of Saquon. It's not like Saquon was going to do what he's done the past year and 2 years if he stayed with the Giants. But the GM can still say, hey, well, I drafted Dart, I drafted Scatterbo, I drafted Neighbors, so I do know what I'm doing. There can be his argument because they have to. Those two have to come together to decide what type of team they're going to put together, and the GM controls the purse strings. So it's going to be interesting on who winds up with the Giants too. Like you said, hey, it's Dart who I want to deal with, or do I want to deal with, or do I have my eye on another quarterback?
Exactly. And then you're still developing, going back to the Cam, you're still developing Cam. You're still developing Dart. And let's move on to this next one, Raheem Morris, because you're still developing Penix Jr. if you want him to be the future. Now, I think he might be the one, and this is unfortunate due to the fact that you could be looking at a situation to where Penix Jr. has some physical issues that a coach could use as an excuse. That offense does move a little bit better, but I'm not saying he's the guy for the future. Most definitely, but the offense clicks a little bit better with Kirk Cousins. I had to burp. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. With Kirk Cousins on the center. And I don't think the quarterback prospects coming in this year from college are looking that great to, move someone. But you just never know.
They gotta have healthier knees.
Gotta have healthier knees, man. Gotta have healthier knees.
I would be a little apprehensive about taking the Atlanta job with a young quarterback who hasn't even played 17 games yet, will be in his third season, who's been injured, season-ending injuries 5 straight years. I mean, we talk about the twin segment that we do. I mean, different sport, but he and Greg Oldham related?
Right.
Because I mean, his knees, man, I'm be concerned with Penix with his legs, because that many injuries to his knees, that many torn ACLs and PCLs, that kind of trauma repeatedly to your knees ages you a lot quicker. Arthritic conditions start setting in. That's why Todd Gurley didn't last as long as people thought he would, because he had arthritic knees from those major knee injuries that he had. So
yeah, he might want to go visit Frank Gore's people.
Yeah.
Because even though Frank is an anomaly, but hey, Frank and AD.
Yeah.
He made it past, and I think the running back has a little bit more wear and tear, but I think the running back is a little bit more expendable to a degree, than a quarterback, and you can actually regulate their production, to keep their production. So that is different when you compare running back to quarterback in that under those circumstances.
Yeah. Now, were you surprised that the Falcons let Raheem go after 2 seasons?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I wasn't either, and I'm not sure how qualified he is to lead a team, even though the players like him. He has their support, but I know there were injuries, but I think that for the Falcons, Arthur Blank has had 10 head coaches, both permanent and interim head coaches, in his 24 years there. So they're averaging a new coach every couple of years.
Definitely not still.
Yeah. And the fact that Arthur Blank is 83 years old, he realizes he might have 3 more summers left. And he doesn't want to go through we're making incremental progress. Maybe next year we might win 9 games. Fall back, and when he at 8, we might peak out at 11 wins, but we don't get past the first round of the playoffs. He wants to win now because he's had the team for over 2 decades, made it to a Super Bowl, and he's etched in history because of 28-3, and he wants to get him a ring.
He wasn't the owner in '99.
I know that was still the was that Rankin Smith was still there? Yeah, Rankin Smith was still there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shout out to the historical tank.
Yeah, so I think him looking at his mortality and not having much time left, as far as when you look at his age, I think he's in win now mode, and I wouldn't be surprised for him to bring in a seasoned veteran who's got some pelts on the wall to bring and whip this team into shape quickly.
And you know what else too? Not only his window of mortality, but he also has to look at his window for the personnel that he has. Like,
yeah,
the defense is not that bad. Bijan, the wide receiver core that they have, you don't want to waste it.
Right.
So you want to get in and a coach who's coming in with a win now mentality, and let's get this done. I don't know where this puts Penix Jr. as far as him rushing back, because he has the type of physical injury, yet he's still a very talented arm. So we got to figure out, what we're going to do as far as his situation is concerned, because I'm almost certain with him getting rid of Rich McKay as well.
Finally, yeah, moving him to he's still staying in the organization.
He's still staying in the organization, but his football his football input has been demoted.
Yeah.
Tremendously as
Mhm.
far as having hands-on as much as he had. So I'm almost certain that's about to really be something shaken up in the
Who does
offseason
Rich have pictures of?
in his office.
Yeah, in his phone or in a
Oh,
safe
that's
or something.
keeping him with a job.
Yeah, who
Probably the same
who
people. Probably the
who does
same
he
people.
have pictures of
Yeah,
butt naked on the zebra?
probably the
Because
same. Probably the same people. Jason Garrett had the same people. Jeff Fisher had. You know, they probably got some Epstein files.
yeah, because McKay has not done much for the Falcons at all.
I mean, let's be real. He was the same dude. He just got an opportunity to smoke a cigar in 2002 with the Bucks.
Yeah.
Really wasn't much going on. So, I mean, you are what you are. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So,
Yeah, so
I don't
curious
know,
stuff.
man. And then before I get to that number one, we're gonna go to Mr. Pete Carroll, who's no longer in Vegas.
I told you at the beginning of the year he'd probably be gone. He's not gonna live out his. He's not gonna not live out that way, but he didn't gonna last his 3 years that they gave him.
Pete just wanted to be in Vegas as an old man.
Yeah, he wanted that no state income tax.
Yeah, that's what he wanted. That's what he wanted. And then we have Jonathan Gannon, Arizona Cardinals. And I believe that's another one where you're looking at the talent and you're saying, like, come on, man. You know, Seattle, NFC West, why not us? You know?
Yeah, but you the Cardinals. That's why. But really, these coaches, and
You know,
I know
the Cardinals have had more recent. No, they haven't.
yeah, they had spurts.
They had spurts. They
But
had
my
spurts.
thing is these owners and these GMs, and granted, it's because of how we do things in the bird, but you got to be willing to give people enough time to really get their imprint on the whole organization. You can't say, "Hey, we've had 3 bad years, and I'm just now and I'm just tired. I'm finna get rid of you." If the team is still competing and playing for the coach, that means they haven't given up, they haven't quit, and they're still buying in. Things just have to come together. I just think you have to give a coach give everything time. I mean, you can't look and say, "Oh well, they went from first worst to first in the first year under so and so." So why can't we do that? Maybe because you don't have that kind of talent,
And
or maybe
we're going to talk about why you don't get time anymore.
yeah,
It's all
it's
cyclical, though.
yeah. So I think there needs to be a little more patience with these owners, and I think the younger owners are more impatient because that's just their mentality. Hey, I need it now. I need it now. And the older owners, if they haven't ever had they got in the ring, man, I'm probably gonna be dead in the next 2 years. I want to get a ring before I go.
Imagine being a Jerry Jones who, in a sense, got it as a younger owner, and he's
Yeah,
been living off that, for
30
30 some odd
years. Mm-hmm.
years. And even I mean, we could talk about it, but he wasn't the head coach. They got rid of Eberflus today.
Yeah.
And but imagine, the thought process of the young owner, and that's what I was getting at. I'd rather go ahead and win now and suffer than win later. Like, I think even the Roonies took a drought.
The drought would be putting it mildly. It wasn't even a drought. I mean, it was 47 years before they even got a playoff win from 33 to
Oh, they had,
72.
wait a minute, the Rooney's had it in the 30s?
Yeah, 1933 they found it, distilled it off of Art
Oh, wow.
Rooney won $200 or $2,000 at the racetrack, and he bought the team. But they
I
never
thought,
had winning
man,
seasons until
okay.
the 70s.
I thought the Rooney's got them in like the 60s, and then, oh, okay, they always had them. Shout
Yeah,
out to the historian Tank again. Well, that's
yeah,
your team.
that's a family thing. They had them forever. Nobody's ever had them other than them, and it was 47 years before they made and won a playoff game in 72.
Wow.
But they had 19 coaches prior to Chuck Noll, and they didn't start. They weren't switching them out anymore. They were doing that. Hey, it's been a couple of years and you ain't winning nothing. So
And Chuck Noll arrived.
yeah, and then they said, okay, we're gonna go ahead and try this differently.
And then we got finally, probably, I don't want to say he's the biggest name, but the most, the one, the inevitable one that for probably a bit more inevitable than Raheem, Kevin Stefanski, who's also going to be dealing with Brown's going to be bringing in a coach that's going to be dealing with, again, which one of these quarterbacks do I like the most? But they might go ahead and deal Dylan. What is his name?
Yeah, Dylan Gabriel.
Dylan Gabriel.
Whoever they bring in is gonna have to come in, put his foot down, and be like, this is what we're doing. This is how we're gonna go about this. I don't want this sideshow about who should be in or whatnot. We're gonna open up the competition, and whoever wins, that's it. And we're not gonna have this circus atmosphere, because that's what it came. That's what it became. Because again, he ended up starting, but there's no reason for a 5th round pick to have that kind of hoopla to be going on all that time. I think it really, the team's bad anyway, but I think it affected the team because you got a split between two damn rookies who are both trying to find their way.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, but Stefanski's gonna have another job, more than likely this year as a head coach, because they're gonna do he's a two-time coach of the year, and they're gonna say, look, we understand it was Cleveland.
Which brings me to the next question, because I wanted to get at this one. Now, I'm not gonna make this a racial issue, but who do you think finds a job first out of all the people we named?
Harbaugh. Harbaugh's agent said they had 7 teams call him within 45 minutes asking about, hey, we want to talk to John. I think Harbaugh is going to be first, and he's the most accomplished, because Pete Carroll isn't and shouldn't get another job. I mean, I'm not trying to discriminate against age, but the man is 74 years old. It's been a while since he's been successful. Why would you bring him in? If he doesn't come to a veteran team that's ready to win yesterday, there's no reason to bring Pete Carroll in. I wouldn't bring him anyway. I might bring him in as an advisor, maybe an advisor, but I'm not.
That's going to be very interesting if you have both Harbaugh brothers in the AFC West.
Yeah.
Do you know which one of those 7 teams called?
They didn't say. His agent didn't say. He just said just 7 teams to have called, because in Harbaugh's 63, so he's got some time left. But I think he'll be the first one hired out of the ones that were fired. I believe he'll be the first one. And I know we're gonna hit. Oh, here we go with the retreads and stuff. Harbaugh's not a retread, in my opinion. Harbaugh is a good coach who had a bad season and whose time he kind of run. It's just Harbaugh is in a similar position for me as Andy Reid was when Philadelphia let him go.
Right. Harbaugh is that Andy Reid, Daddy Schottenheimer type situation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Tony Dungy. You know, there's just even though Harbaugh has a championship with him, 2.
Yeah.
One. They have 2 Okay, yeah. So it's just like that. What have you done for me lately? Thing. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if that's tougher in the NFC East or that's tougher in the AFC North. Cause boy, y'all got it bad over there, boy. With the exception of the Steelers. You know, and and my main man, you know his new name for me now, right?
What?
TWT.
What's TWT?
10-win Tomlin.
Hey, you gotta give him credit for.
Gotta give him credit, boy. 10-win Tomlin, boy.
For what we had, what we put out this year, you got to give him genuine credit. But we'll get into that. But yeah, I think Harbaugh will be the first hire. I don't think Carroll's getting another job as a head coach. I don't think Raheem is getting nor deserves another head coaching job.
I think he's finally figured out, you know, he's a better coordinator than because I'll take him at the Bucks. I like his, I mean not the Bucks, but Cowboys. I like his energy with the players from a coordinator standpoint. But that same energy doesn't cross over in the head coach. It's just different. I don't that youthful exuberance. It's not the same when you're the head coach. I think it's a little too friendly, and you know, you need to have a level of OG general in order to keep them boys held accountable, especially in a city like Atlanta. Now, what I was going to say is I believe we saw a lot of those heads get chopped off, and it still might be something to go from a one and done standpoint due to this. And I'm going to segue into that. But we got a lot of hot coaches in college that have made people close that door early. And between this upcoming weekend and the next few weeks, there's going to be some phone calls made. And they're going to be asked if they want to make the step up.
Yeah. I like that they've locked some of these coaches down already. Notre Dame did it with Freeman.
Right.
Indiana did it with Cignetti. So I like that these colleges are doing that.
And the thing about college versus the pros, you have to have a desire to want to coach at the pro level.
Yeah.
Because that's why I believe the cycle of a coordinator going up to be a coach from the pro level has gotten so popular in the last 10, 15 years. And you have to have that desire to want to coach at the pro level because the paychecks are significantly different. You know, you get paid very well to be a college coach. And there's only like 2, maybe 3 NFL coaches that make college coaching money from the top 10 college guys. So, you know, it's just a better situation.
Yeah, and the pressure is different. Yeah, the pressure is different. It's bad. It's a lot of pressure, but the pressure is different. In the college, you have to deal with them damn boosters. I went here, or I donate X amount of money to this team. We should be winning more. If you don't, especially in the state of Texas, as much money as I give, as much money as I give, not just yearly, but every week, you need to be doing better. Otherwise, otherwise you're gonna get fired. Well, it's a $50 million payout. I wipe my butt with $50 million. Here go the check. I get him out of here. You know, you have to deal with that, as opposed in the NFL, you got fans who are upset, but you don't have to deal. But you got to deal with.
That might have something to say, but yeah, it's mostly fans.
Yeah, and then you just have to deal with being able to relate and get grown men to do what you want them to do, but doing it in a way which they respect you, but you aren't disrespectful of them at the same time.
Right. And shout out to Cattleman Steakhouse in Fort Worth, Texas, because I saw a lot of those boosters with them big belt buckles and big hats and nice shiny boots.
Well, if that was the case, you were somewhere where there was some big bucks. So things must be going pretty good over there in KD land.
Let me tell you something, man. Shout out to my cousin. I'm wishing him a happy birthday. My cousin, you know, he's not a street dude. He's not a street dude, but he'll say something to me if I call him out of his real name online. So shout out to my cousin, Florida Black, as I call him affectionately, Pro Black. It wasn't my pockets. He had us in Cattleman Steakhouse eating them big steaks and onion rings. That was all his doing.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So you know, don't think it's good over here. Steak was good. Steak was immaculate.
Yeah, that's one of the few things that you can't.
I'm just saying, them belt buckles, boy. It was some energy and some oil in there for real.
Yeah.
I thought I saw Bobby Ewing.
It's nothing like going somewhere and having a nice steak. I mean, that it's just something about a nice steak. There are other meats that are good, but a nice steak just makes the world seem better.
You know what make it better? And that's gonna segue into my next subject. But before I get there, I just want to make sure everyone follows and subscribes to us on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and Twitch at No Jazz Show, NOJASSSHOW, the No Jazz Show on Instagram. We are live on our Facebook page at No Jazz Show, on my page, NIVEK. I forget ZDUPONT. Tank, they live on your page?
Yep.
On Tank page. That's Russell Tanker with 2 L's. It's 2 S's and 2 L's, right?
Yep.
That's right. Live on his page. And we are live on Twitch and also TikTok. Shout out to everybody in the chat on TikTok. Now, let me tell you what's better than a good steak at a good steakhouse. A nice $95 to $165 steak after your team wins its quarterfinal game. Let me tell you something, man. That steak would not have tasted as good without the taste of victory. Man, we poured victory steak sauce on that steak. Woo! Yeah, and so as I say, unless you've been under a rock and this thing is flipped over, yes, indeed, we are heading into the semifinal, Final Four of the CFP College Football Playoff Weekend, where you will see the University of Miami Hurricanes going up against the Ole Miss Rebels. We're going to talk about that. As well as the Indiana Hoosiers facing those Oregon Ducks to fight for their position to get to the national championship game in the great city of Greater Miami, Florida. Miami Gardens, to be exact. Go ahead, Tank.
Traditionally speaking, can you think of 2 wilder matchups you could have had? traditionally speaking, because some of those teams don't have that kind of panache to be playing for a championship, and others do have some pedigree. We know Miami does, but Ole Miss doesn't. Indiana doesn't. Oregon has had a little bit. It's stiffed a little bit, but I mean, you don't have traditional powers other than Miami in this thing now, which I think is interesting. I think it's good for college football, to see, because you got new blood in there. I think this is going to bring in interest in both games and in the national championship, because other than Miami, these other teams really, in Oregon has played before, but other than that, half these teams don't have any kind of pedigree or any kind of attachment to playing for anything worthwhile. Ole Miss hadn't done it hadn't done it ever, and Indiana is the second losing this program in the history of college football.
Right.
They've had
before Cincinnati got there.
Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna tell you this. In 2025, if someone would have texted me, gave me a sheet of paper, I gotta remember what age I'm in. But if someone would have showed me something that said Final Four and these teams were in it, I would have thought you were talking about March Madness basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Indiana would have turned on my light.
Yeah.
Oregon has been there. Miami has actually been there. Ole Miss probably just could have had a great recruiting class and got in there. Even if Ole Miss loses to Georgia, that could have looked like, because of Indiana, that could have looked like a basketball Final Four.
Right.
So for these programs to be in there and getting this new blood, you kind of like what the CFP is actually doing. You kind of look at the NIL situation. We're gonna get into that, and you see a level of parity in there. You see some strategy. You see how. Let me go make sure I get my guys in the trenches. Let me make sure I get not necessarily an elite quarterback. With the team I have, he might end up looking elite. But let me make sure I have a solid quarterback that's going to move me.
Mm-hmm.
Not make the mistakes.
Make some plays.
And make some plays and move me into the playoffs. So it is that's the good thing about the CFP. There are some traditional people who might need to get out of their traditional thinking. Namely Alabama and Georgia and the SEC. You'll be back, but I do believe that the SEC representation is going to see Georgia have some downtime, Alabama have some downtime, but SEC will still be in there because I believe Florida going to make it back. I believe LSU is going to make it back. I believe the next Ole Miss could be Mississippi State. Stop sleeping on the ACC.
Mm-hmm.
Texas is gonna sneak in the state of Texas. Texas gonna get in there. SMU gonna find its way in there. Texas A&M gonna find its way in there. These outliers that are sitting there. We're not about to sit up here and act like USC is not going to eventually find them some money and a quarterback and make their way back in there.
Yeah.
I think UCLA is one of those schools that's going to end up being the Indiana one year. Like, whoa, that basketball school, they in it. So I like what the CFP does from that parity sense. That's getting them in there. I just don't believe. I hate to even say their name, but I think they can from a traditional football standpoint, they might say, okay, we have to pivot. We can't be a school that reloads as easy as we once used to. Now we have to rebuild, and they're going to be that 3 to 4 year school. FSU still has recruiting talent to field teams to get back in there. So I don't think we're going to see back to back and we know they're going to get in, because a lot of people this season are just disappointed with the fact that they were wrong.
Yeah, I think that it's like you said. I think it's good to see some new blood in there, but it is. But you also still want to see traditional powers, just in the playoffs, and then once they get in the playoffs, if they fall short, they fall short. But to see new blood come into it, I mean, I can imagine if Indiana wins. Let's say if Indiana wins it all, even if they don't, if they make it to the championship game, the boom in recruiting and the boom in enrollment that it's going to have for that school, because again, they're the second worst team in the history of college football, and now after 100 and something years, they're on the precipice of playing for the national championship. They're 60 minutes away from playing for it. So that goes a long way. And they got a coach who is doing it right and has no plans on going to the NFL. So they might be here for a while. But of course, they're gonna have to get another quarterback because what's his name? He'll be gone. But yeah, I do like this. But mention this about your Miami. That looked like old Miami. That looked like old Miami.
To a degree.
Yeah, it was reminiscent of old Miami.
And is it I know it's Bain and oh my goodness, that boy named the other defensive guy.
I can't remember his name, but I know who you're talking about.
And the safety number 8. I think we're getting a little too far ahead of ourselves because I'm playing the humble as a fan.
For this year and for this moment right now, they're reminiscent of Kane's past.
See, and I like that, but I think it's a little too early to be saying people are Russell Maryland and Warren.
I'm not saying they're that caliber of player. I'm not saying they're that caliber of players, but
you win a championship.
The way that they attack, and the way they've gone about their tenacity and the way they've gone about it. Okay, and remember, Cristobal is there. Cristobal won championships as a player, so he knows what it takes and what they like.
The brutish nature that they have.
Yeah.
The swanishness, the physicality, it's all the wantoness. It's all there. Like somebody has instilled that in them. Yes.
And Bloodline is
that parallel.
He's looking.
You gotta wait a little bit. Now,
Bloodline Bain is doing it.
I might give you something.
Yeah.
Because numerically the numbers don't.
Yeah.
They just So it's like.
Don't you sound a little nervous? That's what it is. Like a little nervous, a little hesitant. You like I don't want to, because of course they aren't that caliber of what we've seen before. But the way they're going about things and the way it's like, okay, I can see that. Like, okay, they might be puppies. They're not dogs yet, but they might be puppies. And Bain, I call him Bloodline because it's that's Tolbert Bain's nephew.
Right?
So he knows firsthand what I'm sure Tolbert told him. Hey, Tolbert probably showed him, look, first game in the Cotton Bowl, first play of the Cotton Bowl, the kickoff, I knocked the dude out on the first play.
I knocked him out.
I knocked him out.
You got it. So, that's why I said that one time. You have to set a standard. Now let me do something or say something. we are fans from the 80s, early 90s, and the stop 2000s, right? We aren't nervous by no means. The problem is we don't feel as comfortable talking with that bravado and swag. And a lot of people might say, oh, you don't have confidence. No. We used to tell you as fans, you know, to be quiet, shut up, don't even try us like that. So I'm highly of the guys. I'm looking at the matchups, and we match up very well. They don't, to me, as far as Ole Miss is concerned.
I think that's
but I'm just gonna play the humble because I still don't like Tony. Tony is still a little young for me to say, y'all know y'all ain't got nobody to stop him. You know, Bane is dominant. Merce, woo boy, his name just hard. They're dominant, yet what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do with Jerome Brown? What are we gonna do with Sapp? Like,
yeah,
it ain't there. So I'm giving it before we start. Now take that thing to Miami and talk to me next week. There's no way that I'm gonna be playing the humble, but we've been doing very well and saying, you know, if you want to give me the energy and talk noise, I'm gonna give you the same energy back. You know, but I do as a fan like the way these guys from Texas A&M and this guy from Ole Miss, you know, they're kind of giving us the billboard talk. Okay, we'll show you who we are on the field. Put it in action. You know, that's the part I like.
Yeah, you know I think Ole Miss is coming, and I think they've got a chip on their shoulder because, hey, they lost their coach. The coach is like, hey man, he didn't even want to be here. That's the way they take. Like, he didn't want to be here. We're gonna show him. He's gonna regret.
You don't think Lane Kiffin on the phone giving them boys a game plan?
I don't know. You're not on the sideline.
You think the coach is a little, the current coach is a little, you know, this is my team now.
Yeah, I'm sure he is because he's trying to. Because I'm not sure if he's been named the permanent coach yet or not.
Right.
So yeah, he's auditioning for a job, and what better way to audition than to win the national championship?
Absolutely.
But I like the matchup just because this isn't a game that you would see on the regular season. Anything it's almost like there's no reason for Ole Miss and Miami to ever play.
I'm gonna tell you,
you know. So I think I like the matchup as far as just that, but I think it's gonna be one of those things where you're gonna find out what Ole Miss has because Miami is after having Irvin, Lewis, Sapp, and all them on the sidelines. You know they practice all week.
All week.
Yeah. After doing they've been feeding them boys raw meat. And
Mesidor.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, young man.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you, and because it's another game that we need to attack. Do you know what this really is? And that's why a lot of people wanted to, even though players come from everywhere. Players are recruited from everywhere. Just like last Tuesday's game. Or was it Wednesday? This was because just like I was telling that man in the stands, you all are used to Abdul Carter. You all aren't used to Bane and Mesidor speed. You all used to that Penn State speed. You know, coming off the end, it's different. You know, you all used to what boy used to play for us? I forgot his name, but some fan I am.
Oh, Micah.
Yeah, y'all used to that Micah Parsons, Pennsylvania speed. You all aren't used to this. And so if Georgia would have won that game, it wasn't about University of Miami versus Georgia. It was Florida football versus Georgia football.
Georgia football, yeah.
You know, and now you playing on a level of you played Florida football versus traditional Ohio football.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a Florida boy, a Florida prospect who was actually keeping y'all in the game and was the best man on the team. You know, and now you're playing the state of Florida traditional football against Mississippi football. We don't believe now. See, this is when I'm getting braggadocious. We don't believe Texas, California. We as a state don't believe anybody has anything for us, and so that's what's really on the line when you meet these matchups. You know, we got a guy in Mendoza who's from Florida.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's really where the bravado lies, you know, in these matchups. And speaking of which, Indiana versus Oregon. I think it kind of reminds you of finesse versus bravado. Like it just feel like Indiana coming in there to punch them in the mouth, and Oregon about to say, y'all can't run with us.
Yeah.
I don't care what you do.
It's gonna be like Parcells said, power wins football games. And
Power wins football games.
Can you handle? You can run around in the ring and hope that I get tired. But when I catch it, but eventually you're gonna get tired. And when you get tired, when I punch in your damn throat, what are you gonna do? Yeah, what are you gonna do? So right. I think that's gonna be an interesting game too. These are two good matchups because schematically, it's like boxing. Styles make fights, and I think Indiana is like, hell, I think they're like, look, we got a chance to actually do something that nobody who's the thousands of guys who suited up for this program have done. We got a chance to actually win something. We got a chance for people to say Indiana Hoosiers and not be talking about basketball.
I got a question for you. This might make you think. You ready?
Yeah.
When was the last time? We can even go CFP, but you can go back even further. But when was the last time the color burgundy or maroon, or whatever you want to call it, was not represented in the biggest games in football? When last time you didn't see that?
Oh, you said burgundy
or maroon?
Ohio State and LSU.
Who was in the Final Four?
That was before this. That was before the CFP.
Before the CFP.
Yeah.
And then before that, you probably still had a lot of Alabama in the running. I think there was there a Georgia Clemson?
There was a Georgia Clemson.
There was a Georgia Clemson. But
there was Bama, yeah, but it's been a Bama forever.
Traditionally, it's been Alabama, Oklahoma. Alabama, Oklahoma been wearing that maroon and keeping the color maroon and burgundy in branded in college football as a color for a mighty long time. Now, because I was just kind of watching TV and I was watching how they was playing, I'm like, man, Indiana looked like Oklahoma and Alabama out there. But that's Indiana. So, you know, that just kind of made me think, man, maybe that's just a lucky college football color.
Yeah, well, I want to see what Indiana's gonna look like next year with Mendoza gone, and also with all those players that Cignetti brought with him. You know, because
he seemed like he might be putting on, but he seemed like he has a very hard nose. I don't know if you happy
Yeah.
type of attitude about him. I kind of like that.
Yeah, he look like one of those who will have you behind puckered up, like when you walk by, like
Right.
so.
You
And
know,
he just, and besides, he's like, look, they just, what he signed, $93 million or whatever. He's like, I'm gonna be here. You, son, would not be here if I don't think you can play here. You can take your behind and get in the transfer port. I'll help you. So I don't think it's gonna.
yeah,
That's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, he kind of remind you of, how do I go ask coach or tell coach I'm not happy? You know, it's kind of like going talking to Saban, like, okay. Not that he had that level of talent to be saying that,
Yeah.
but you know,
Yeah,
it's
like
one of them
okay,
things.
or okay, well, why aren't you happy? You need to do something to make yourself happy. You can either leave or you can start playing better. Because I'm not happy with your performance.
I'm not happy with the performance. Exactly. Now, we've let me
So
see.
who you got this week? Those out of those two CFP games.
University of Miami, of course. Now I'm going Hollywood.
Okay.
I think it would be cute. I think it would be cute to have that duck come down to Miami.
And meet the Ibis.
Ibis, and let him know, you know, like, look here, Timu Ibis. You're not us. You'll never be us. You're our little brother. You know, we've taken you on as our little adopted brother because they did do something. I forgot who they beat one time, maybe Florida State or somebody. Got in that ass one time, and I was proud of what he did as a duck. That would be cute. What would be special is Indiana come down there and everybody looks at Florida talent and Miami, South Florida talent, play ball when Mendoza come down there in Miami, and that, I think that would be special.
Mhm.
So I definitely didn't answer your question. Uh you know what? I'm going with
Oh,
Indiana.
we got to. Oh no, that's right. The game this week. I was gonna
Yeah,
say
they
we
just
got
Thursday.
time, but yeah,
That's
it's
right.
Thursday. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you something. Historically, I'm gonna go with Indiana because I like the special part with Mendoza, but also, when them burgundy colored teams come to the Orange Bowl for championships, we beat up on you. Let's not forget. Don't try us. You come on
Yeah.
down there with them burgundy helmets if you want to. You're in the right spot. So that's what I want.
Yeah.
Miami, Indiana.
But I don't like Miami, as you know. So from that
Oh, I
part,
got
from
some
that
technical difficulties.
from,
I what? I didn't hear you.
I don't like Miami. So
Chat, chat.
from that
Can you
standpoint,
hear? Can you hear me? If that
I
ain't
would
taking.
like to see. I'd like to see Ole Miss and Indiana. I think that would be just never in a million years matchup. That's what I would like to see. Now, who I think's gonna win, I believe I think Miami is gonna get them because I think they're gonna drag them out in the deep end, in the deep water, and they're gonna drown them in the fourth quarter. And I still think, regardless, Indiana is gonna, he's gonna, they're gonna pull it out against Oregon, and I think, and another reason I want to see Indiana win, man, I'm sorry that this damn Mendoza kid is the most eloquent, loquacious speaker I've seen from a college athlete. If I didn't know any better, I would say he's reading off a teleprompter. Man, it's a master class every time he speaks.
Absolutely.
I mean, dang. If he was running for office, I'd vote for him just for that.
He definitely has some electoral classes in public speaking.
Yeah.
Media relations.
Yeah.
He definitely has that. I'll give him that.
Minimum, he's in Toastmasters every week.
Minimum. I will give him that. And I just want to give this disclaimer out because we're gonna sit Tank over there. There's a thing, and we're gonna get off this subject as we move into the second hour of the No Jazz Show. There's this thing of it's not about being a fan of a team, because I bet I can get in Tank's brain and I would have to dig deep to find out the last time he thought about Ole Miss beyond 2025 to be talking about I'm rooting for Ole Miss and I hope them to be in. So what that is, people, let me tell y'all what that is. The same thing them Georgia fans got. It's the same thing them Alabama fans got. It's the same thing them Notre Dame fans got. And now them Ohio State fans, just like that fan in the bathroom that was coming out the bathroom talking about something. We got one, y'all need one, and trying to give me a high five. That is Miami hates. That's all that is running through your blood.
Yeah, it is. I told you I think Miami's going to.
You still mad about that Notre Dame situation? Let it go. Let it go. Yeah. You want to see Georgia win. Let it go.
I think Miami's going to win, but I don't want them to.
And you're going to go, oh, thank goodness the Steelers still in, because you're about to go all summer hurting. But remember, because I'm not going to let you get on another episode talking about I told you so, because you chose Miami. It's on tape and it's recorded. You chose Miami. You just, I'd rather see Ole Miss. You know you don't. You'd rather see Miami lose. Say it. You'd rather see Miami lose. You don't want to see Ole Miss win. You'd rather see Miami lose. I get it.
Yep, sure would.
And you're going to be like that next week when you're trying to figure out who's going to be the champion. Well, if anything, I like the whole thing about Indiana or Oregon, and I would love to see, you're going to bring something. You're going to just make up something. Phil Knight deserves. Makes me want to go watch the Hoosiers movie. You're going to make up something. You ain't thought about Indiana since Keith Smart made that shot. You need to just stop. All y'all need to stop. Y'all ain't thought about Ole Miss since Arch Manning. Archie, to be exact.
It's not about who you're for. It's who you are against.
Exactly. It's who you're against. And we're going to be loud all summer if we win. I think that's really what y'all against. Oh, my goodness. We don't care about none of y'all. It took 30 years. You still ain't won the ACC. Y'all coming with all of it. Y'all got to stop the hate. But at any rate, we want to make sure you follow and subscribe on YouTube at No Jazz Show. Make sure you follow us on Facebook at No Jazz Show. We are currently live on Twitch, TikTok, and all of your favorite platforms. I'm not going to even get into all of that, man. We're going to move on and, relax, relate, release, breathe. Get all that hateful energy up out of here with all that. Now, are you talking about running backs in the NFL? I should have asked you that. We're going to talk about these running backs in the NFL. And I want to talk about it because Derrick Henry has solidified his place in the Hall of Fame. I'm with it. Back-to-back. I don't know how many in his career, but definitely back-to-back 1,500-yard seasons.
He's got 5 1,500-yard seasons.
5 1,500-yard seasons. And shout out to him. Most definitely. He has, you know where Derrick Henry from?
And he's in Florida.
Okay, so anyway, I just want to, but the subject of this is to talk about where do you rank the running backs in the NFL this year? Like from, and who are you comparing them? You comparing them to the recent past?
I'm comparing like to all, because I think I said it last year. We're looking at the resurgence of the running back position.
Most
And
definitely.
I think this year has solidified it. And I'm looking at the running back classes in the 90s, the 80s, the 70s. I think the amount of quality backs now who are being featured is as good as it's ever been, even though the backs themselves, with the exception of maybe the top 3, might not be as good as what we've seen. But I think that this is a good crop. And we got, I want to say 12 running backs who've hit the proverbial, the 1,000-yard season. I don't get off on the 1,000-yard seasons anymore.
We don't do the Eric Reck. We don't do the Eric Reck 17, 16 game. Okay. Shout out to Eric. I love you, boy.
Because I remember growing up, it used to be 1,400 yards and up, is what you expected from the backs. This year we've got four who got over 1,400. We got Henry with 15, Cook with 16, Taylor with 14, and Bijan has got 14.
Bijan got 14. How many Bijan? Bijan got about 17 all purpose, right?
No, I want to say Bijan got 2,000.
Okay.
Got 2,000. Yeah.
He was putting on a masterclass this year.
Yeah. So I think from that aspect, the deepness, the depth of the group is probably the best that we've had in any era, in any decade. And one time in the 90s, because somebody, if you really pay attention, if you're really a historian of it, remember back now, you had Emmett, Thurman, Barry, and Terrell Davis all in the league at the same time. So I'm not saying that all of these guys are better than those 4, but the depth is as good as it's ever been, if not better.
And I love that core you said. And there was a Sean Alexander in there too.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna move
Sean
up.
was in 2000. Yeah. So we got others. There's others. Yeah.
I'm gonna say, then you got another era where I believe it was AD, Edgerrin James, Marshall Faulk, Ricky Williams. Who's my main man before Steve Davis? No, the one before Todd Gurley.
Oh, Steven Jackson.
Steven Jackson, like there are. Yeah. It's been some and who the Bettis?
Yeah.
Bettis was toting that rock. So hey.
And you got guys, and you go all the way back to the 70s. You had Franco, OJ, Dorsett for the 70s and 80s, and you also had I'm leaving out somebody.
If you're gonna say the 80s,
you had Zonka,
Dickerson.
And, you had Dickerson in the 80s. You had Zonka,
Marcus Allen in the 80s.
Yeah, I mean, so we've had a lot of good and great backs playing in decades, but this right here, in the past 2 years, we've seen a resurgence. Of the running back position, and guys are actually being featured, which is what I think every team should do. find you a feature back and do it. We don't need that back by committee crap. If he's that good, give him the rock. And Derrick Henry, like you said, he solidified himself as a Hall of Famer. I remember I asked in the group, I think it was 2 seasons ago, was Derrick Henry a Hall of Famer? This is before he came to Baltimore. And it was a resounding no, he ain't there yet.
He ain't there yet, right.
And now it's like, if you don't think that he is, he's one of those that somebody said, hey, does he get in the Hall of Fame? You don't even have to think about it. It's not, well, he did. No, he's in. He's in.
I'm gonna tell you another thing that Derrick has done, and this is what you need. When you were given that Emmett class, and you know how we grade Hall of Fame, because the name you named, Terrell Davis, made it in there 2 years of 2000 Super Bowl MVP, giving John Elway a Super Bowl, 2 of them, because he couldn't win one. He created that argument for himself, right? But what Derrick Henry has done in this era, and I'm so proud of him for doing that, is he's created a benchmark for his peers.
Yeah.
Who believe that they can get in. So now what we about to do is we about to compare you to Derrick.
Yeah.
And what Derrick did, I'm gonna tell you here's what Derrick did. Derrick, I don't know when he's gonna retire, but right now he doesn't have a ring. So Derrick left himself a window to where, okay, if let's just say Jonathan Taylor runs 2 more years good and wins a Super Bowl ring, I'm gonna look at all his stats and say, okay, you got a championship. I'm gonna throw you up against Derrick, and I might give you something before I start putting you against the other boys. You know what I mean? Because Derrick left that window open. If Derrick puts some hardware on him, then stretch him out a little bit. But he's created a template to where now we're gonna put you against your peers, and we're gonna see what you're doing. Because right now, people like Jonathan Taylor, you in the Todd Gurley category and Larry Johnson.
Yeah.
You know, not Larry Johnson basketball, Larry Johnson football. You know, and Stephen Davis. You know, you in both Stephen Davises. You want to know the truth. So you know, you up in there, man. So shout out to Derrick for doing that. And but the running back resurgence is definitely back. Most definitely.
Yeah, and I for one am glad to see it. And I think that, and this is also with what Henry's doing, yes, we know he's lab created. You know, you ain't gonna, those genetics you don't just find those genetics. But what he's doing and being able to do it at his age, which is normally when you say, well, I'm not gonna pay it back. If Derrick Henry decides to come back next year, Baltimore would be foolish not to pay him what he's worth to keep him for another 2 years. Henry should be getting 2-year contracts at top dollar or near top dollar until he falls off the cliff.
Just off productivity.
Yeah, because if he's 32, he's gonna be 33. If he puts up and he's putting up 1,500 yards, why in the hell would you not re-sign him and say, all right, we're gonna see what he got and give him the opportunity? And if he puts up 1,400 next year and double-digit touchdowns again, you keep doing it until he can't do it anymore. You keep giving it to him, and that's how I think. And that's what it used to be with running backs. They used to do that.
Because right now he's a wily vet that knows how to get 1,200 yards. Like I know if my body stays in shape, I know how to run for at least 1,200 yards. Like you don't have to.
Yeah, that's an off year for him, man. He ain't get 1,200 this year.
Right. I know how to do that. Like I'm so good, I know how to do that. Most definitely, man. Most definitely.
And it's crazy. Then we can move on, but it's crazy. You look at high school, college, and the pros. This man has run for 28,000, over 28,000 yards, because he had over 12,000 in college, in high school, and he had almost 3,000 in college, and now he got 13,000 as a pro.
That's crazy. That's a lot on your body.
Yeah, but you
That's
know,
a lot on your body.
he's probably had somebody really hit him probably about 5 times in his life.
People make, and that's something, that's an ability to
Yeah,
have people making
executive decision.
professional decision. Yeah, executive decision.
Why didn't you hit him? Why didn't you hit him? Look, I'm 5'10", 180 pounds. I cover wide receivers. I don't bring down Mack trucks. Why don't y'all linebackers and defensive linemen? Why don't y'all stop him from getting out here?
Yeah, they don't build Ryan Clark, Troy Polamalu, and Sean Taylor no more. Ed Reed, they don't build them no more.
Yeah, because they would have came and got some.
For nothing, Steve Atwater, they don't build them no more. Now moving along, who do you like in the NFL playoffs? I already know who you like.
We've been at this over an hour. I need to stretch.
Yeah, go ahead and stretch. Go ahead and
stretch. Man,
you finished?
Yeah.
You forgot to stretch one thing.
What's that?
That big ass head. Cause you got a big head.
It's going. That's all right.
Baltimore,
in a couple of weeks.
Baltimore kicking and gave Tank the big head.
Let me tell you this about that game. I'm gonna start from the beginning and go and start. I'm gonna start from the end and go to the beginning. I knew that Luke was gonna miss that kick as soon as they brought him out there. And the reason why I knew I didn't doubt it at all. I knew he was gonna miss it. The reason why I had the exact same feeling that I had in 2005 when Vanderjagt missed that kick in 2005 in Indianapolis.
Right?
Yeah. When he missed it. When Vanderjagt came out there to kick that ball, I had no doubt. I said, he's gonna miss it. He's gonna miss it. I said, he never misses. He's gonna miss it. Just like Bettis never fumbles and he coughed it up at the goal line. I said, it's gonna even itself out. Vanderjagt is gonna miss a kick that he never misses.
I'm doing my Jerome. I'm doing my Jerome Bettis.
And that's how I felt Sunday night. I said, he's gonna miss it. I was never even worried. I was just getting ready to celebrate. I was getting ready to celebrate. I just had that feeling. And about this team, I have the 2005 feeling. We're not as talented as we were in 2005. We're not. But the things that the team does, the 2005 team wasn't the best team in the league, but they were playing the best ball at the right time. The last 6 games of the regular season were playoff games for them. So by the time they got to the playoffs, hey, we already been in playoff mode. Every game Pittsburgh played the past 6 weeks, with the exception of Cleveland because they just wet the bed, has been playoff games. They've been in playoff mode. And with Aaron Rodgers there doing what Discount Double Check does, I think it's gone through the team. And the fact that they didn't have Metcalf for 2 weeks and still came out and took care of business, I think that inspires and just inspired the offense. Like, hey, we can do this. Getting DK back is just a bonus. It's not really a bonus. We need him. But, hey, we won without him against our against our top rival in a damn physical ass game.
That was dog
and
fight.
We did it. Yeah, and we did it. So getting DK back, it's gonna free up the whole offense. And I think it will, but the defense cannot be having those lapses because there was no way in the world that Zay Flowers and Likely was supposed to be, I don't even want to say wide open. I'm just gonna say there was no reason for them to be on the field by themselves on them 3 touchdowns, on those touchdowns. They were, I mean, muffed it, but I think that they have a good chance of winning. Houston's coming up there from the Dome, playing outside in Pittsburgh at night when it's already cold during the daytime. At night it gets even colder, and their wind's gonna be blowing. And Renegade, when they crank up Renegade in the fourth quarter, hey, you heard how loud the stadium was on the TV. I mean,
I ain't watching much NFL, but that's why I don't have a twin this week. I was drunk on.
you and Irvin was hanging out together.
Hey man, I'm here to tell you, boy. But go ahead.
Yeah, but I think that Pittsburgh is going to be. I'm confident that unless they do something extremely stupid, I'm confident that Pittsburgh can beat and will beat Houston. And the offensive line has been doing its job. They kept Rodgers clean the past few weeks. And Rodgers is getting, if you look at him each week, Rodgers is looking and playing, is looking younger, moving around. He saw him, he took off and had a 20-yard run the other day. That was his longest run since 2021. And I just think the team is peaking at the right time.
I just want to say this too. It's crazy. Like the NFL is like the number one reality drama for 75 years running. Like the NFL has gone from George Pickens happy he left Pittsburgh to George Pickens like, man, if I was still in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Ain't that something?
Yeah, he on the fishing trip. Yeah, but
that's crazy, man. That's the NFL, boy.
Yeah, and the last thing was, I mean, I was excited the whole game. I mean, the defense. I mean, they've got Jackson's number. They've got his number. They won 12 or 13 games against Jackson. That's not by accident. The pass rush was on. Everybody was healthy. We didn't need TJ to take over a game because everybody was doing their job overall. But the fact that, and this is the thing that's funny, they haven't lost on a Monday night home game.
Right.
Guess who in 2023 games? Guess who the coach was the last time they lost on Monday night at home?
Chuck Noll.
Wow.
That's a long time. I'm talking about that's John Madden.
Yeah.
And Al Michaels.
That was the last time they lost the Monday night game.
Pat Summerall. No, that's John Madden and Al Michaels.
Yeah. So
that might even be Don Meredith. Good God.
So that's who I got. I want to get them out the way first. But I also have Seattle. Well, not Seattle. Seattle's not playing. I think the Rams are gonna do something. And who else we got?
Oh, you know what I'm looking forward to? I'm looking forward to Buffalo Jacksonville in Jacksonville.
Hey,
that right now?
Goldilocks might pull it off. And I'm talking about Trevor Lawrence.
This is that boy might take the only unfortunate thing about it is Travis Hunter. But
yeah, it's crazy. It's almost as if, all right, they didn't have to focus and try to do all this stuff to justify all the now. It's like, hey, look, let's go out here and let's play ball. Travis is out. Travis is not playing for the rest of this season. Go out here and let's do what we need to do. We don't need to justify what we did to get him. And I said it earlier this year, and then he fell off the wagon a little bit, but he got back on. I thought that Lawrence has turned the corner, and he's been on fire lately.
Most definitely,
he's looking good. So
I think that's the matchup. Y'all have a dog fight. Y'all got a dog
Yeah.
fight in Houston.
Yeah.
The Houston-Pittsburgh game is like,
It's gonna be physical.
that's what I'm saying. Like whoever y'all have next, they need to, I'm not saying think ahead. Who would they have next?
Depending on who wins. I think we got the winner of the Chargers.
See, that could end it. That could easily be a finesse game, but they need to get out ahead because y'all about to be physical, and you want to meet Houston and Pittsburgh because that next week y'all gonna be banged, man. That's gonna be that could be a very physical game, to say the least. I think another physical game. I'm gonna move over to the other side. Another 2 physical games. That San Fran Philly game and that Chicago Green Bay.
Yeah, Frisco and Philly. It's gonna be. Hey, I'm gonna bust you in the mouth.
I'm gonna bust you in your mouth. I'm gonna bust you in your mouth.
This is gonna their game, Philly and Frisco. That's gonna be for one of those quarterbacks. It's gonna get a lot of blame if they lose, and it's gonna get a lot of praise and saying, "Hey, they came through." And I think there's more pressure on Hurts than Purdy because Hurts hasn't been spectacular week in and week out. And people, they're like, there's been questioned, hey, did they pay him too early or what's wrong with him? Why can't they do this, that, and the other? But I do think, and if you haven't really flipped the switch on all year, it's kind of hard to get in the playoffs and just flip that switch when you haven't done it at all.
You think see,
but I think they're gonna win because
I see what you're saying.
Frisco is beat up.
I see what you're saying. And Frisco been beat up all year, but he has been playing McCaffrey enough to where his productivity hadn't been to the point where he should be able to give him some nice productivity in the playoffs. And Philly will let you gut him. The thing is, Hurts don't have nobody looking over his shoulder. If Purdy don't get off, there's a possibility they throw Mac Jones in there, and I think Purdy got that in his head. If the rhythm ain't there.
Yeah, I don't think the rhythm not being there is going to be a problem for Purdy.
I hope it's not.
I like Purdy. I think Purdy is a damn good quarterback.
I hope it's not. Yeah, he's straight. He's straight.
Yeah.
I want Purdy to go far because that's gonna add more fuel to my argument about that young man that go to work every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday in Arlington. Getting paid $6 million to be a regular season quarterback. Yeah. I'm not saying any names.
Yeah,
but he ran.
I think I expect that to be good. And and the Green Bay Chicago, that's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a good bet. I'm just curious to see. Yeah, I want to see how Caleb is gonna do in his first postseason appearance. That's what I want to see.
I think Jordan might show him how to spin it.
Yeah, because he has played in and won before. So, but Green Bay has fallen off recently. But if Caleb starts doing some stuff like he's been doing when he's really been on, it's gonna be hard on Green Bay. It's gonna be hard.
Them boys play. Chicago plays this style, man.
They're physical because they run the rock very well.
They run the rock very well, man. I'm not even. They remind me of them Hurricane.
Here we go. That's his one.
Hurricane remind me of him. I'm gonna say the Hurricane remind me of him because of how they play. Because of how they play. But yeah, that is the NFL playoffs. Now, something I've been holding off on, but I want to do this because we're gonna get into this, and I want to make sure I wanted him to do it last week against your Pittsburgh Steelers, but he did it against the Cincinnati Bengals in the fourth quarter. Because I want to bring out the fact that Myles Garrett became the NFL's all-time single season sack leader with 23, overtaking Michael Strahan and TJ Watt.
Yeah,
who was tied for it. Michael Strahan said, I am the single season sack leader for 16 games. Coming out with that Eric Dickerson argument. Whatever. Because someone came with the snap argument. Because he had almost 179 less snaps. Now I don't know how true that is because I'm not sitting there counting snaps like that.
Yeah, it was a number of pass rush snaps, not overall snaps.
Not overall snaps, but pass rush snaps to have the opportunity to,
Yeah.
So we're all making these arguments. I put up a graphic in that same graphic, taking nothing away from Myles Garrett, TJ, Strahan, Gastineau, all of that. I put up the graphic of their records when they broke them. I think it was TJ Watt had a 9-7, Strahan had a 7-9, Myles Garrett 5-12. And I'm asking you, do you think Myles Garrett's record is tainted to a degree? Should it have it? I don't necessarily say an asterisk, but
I don't think it's tainted because you can't penalize the guy for when he plays. But I mean, you can point out, hey, he had an extra game to do it, but like TJ did it in 17, but he actually only played 16 games. So, but I don't think that is tainted.
He in week 17, but only played 16 games, right?
Yeah, but I don't think that it's tainted because he played 17 games. Because if the NFL gets his way in a couple of years, they're gonna be playing 18 games. So, so you can't hold that against the person. You can say, hey, things have changed. Things have changed. You can mention that. But my thing is, and we talked about it before, and I said, him getting a record, hey, that's great, a personal accomplishment. But it's what did it do to help the team? You didn't win. You didn't make the playoffs. You didn't have a winning record. So how impactful were those sacks that you made? That's my thing. And I'm not poo-pooing on it because sacking the quarterback is a damn hard job, especially when you double and triple team just about every play. It's the reason sacks are valued the way they are and interceptions are valued the way they are because it's like you got all these chances to try to do it, but it's very rare that you're able to do it. If you get a sack per game, you're doing something outstanding because it's not uncommon for somebody to go 2 or 3 games without getting a sack. Man, what's wrong with I got 2 or 3 people blocking me every damn play. That's what's wrong. And they going away from me. And if the team isn't dropping back passing as much, that lessens my ability to get back there anyway. That lessens my chances I have of getting sacks. So I don't think that it's tainted. And I really don't. I'm not fond of the asterisks because it's not like he propositioned the NFL. Hey, can y'all let me play an extra game this week? I know I'm supposed to play 16. Can y'all let me play 17 so I can try to get this record? No, you can't penalize somebody for playing during the rules in which they played, the era in which they played. You can point out the difference, but I'm not going to hold it against you because you did. Because if that's the case, everybody with these 5,000-yard seasons, Marino did it in 16, and we know what kind of the rules were when he was playing, as opposed to what they're doing now. So, no, I don't think that it's tainted. And I do like what Strahan said. He did it kind of tongue-in-cheek because he did go on to talk about how many more sacks Miles has left in him, and he's an outstanding player and a Hall of Fame. He didn't, so he just like tongue-in-cheeked it. But he also made that argument because there's going to be people making that argument every time it comes up. But really,
especially the New York Giant fans.
Yeah, but really, but really, how often are you going to bring up that sack record with the Browns not having won a damn thing this year?
I'm going to tell you how often you are. You're not.
Right.
And here's why. Because football has this thing of, even with records, you're into the record that year. Once you break the record or make the milestone, we don't talk about you no more.
Unless somebody else gets real close to it and it is threatening it.
Unless somebody's real close to it and threatening it. Emmett has the rushing record all time. You know what Emmett get talked about, Bob? The rings. Do you know when they talk about Emmett's rushing record? When somebody comparing him to Barry, saying Barry would have got it if he would have played longer. You know when they talk about Walter Payton rushing title he had before Emmett got it? They don't. But you know they talk about what? Walter? 15-1. The ring. And here's why I'm saying what I'm saying. Because what are we at? 100 years of the NFL? 100 plus?
100 plus.
100 plus. We're gonna come across some historic things, and history has to evolve. If you're going to have the seasons evolve from 14 games to 16 games to 17 games, and as Tank said, we're going to move on to 18 games, guess what you're going to have? You're going to have records get broken. I'm going to switch over a little bit. I think Russell Westbrook just broke all the records, or he has like 3 records in the NBA. And now we're arguing, should he be a top 5 guard based upon his statistics? But guess what? No one knows he has those statistics because his hardware is missing. And then you have a guy that backs his car up in Arlington who keeps getting argued about, or arguments for statistics, but plays for an organization that's traditionally a championship organization, and he can't get you to an NFC championship game. So what I'm trying to tell you is this. I don't know if social media has it, and now these people are surfacing, but in 100 plus years of the NFL, going back to the NFL, 100 plus years of the NFL, we have to now start evolving our criteria when these people start making these records. I'm not taking anything away from Myles Garrett at all. Right. But let's be real. Mark Gastineau got 20 plus sacks, and I think he broke that record in a year. The New York Jets.
They went to the playoffs.
And I think they went to the AFC Championship game and lost. You know what I'm saying? So his 20 plus sacks made sense. Yeah. And I'm gonna climb. I'm gonna climb as I talk about this. Because once you get that guy that changes the status of it, you have to start looking at the criteria a little different. You know, OJ got 2,000, didn't go anywhere. So it didn't matter when Eric Dickerson broke his record. But now 2,000 is a little different because Saquon could have broke the record, but he got 2,000 and he won a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
The defensive equivalent to that are two guys. Harvey Martin. Now, why people be like, oh, you just bringing up Dallas Cowboys. No. Harvey Martin, 12-2, 14 games. They wasn't even counting sacks then. Some people say he had 23. But get what Harvey Martin did do that year?
Won the Super Bowl.
Won the Super Bowl.
And the MVP. And split the MVP.
And
Super
split
Bowl
the
MVP.
So then the criteria change a little bit, and the criteria goes up a little bit when you get to 1986. When you get Lawrence Taylor, who gets you 20 plus, and win
a Super Bowl,
the league MVP, and win a Super Bowl. So now that Saquon Barkley has done his thing, I'm looking at 2000 a little different. My criteria didn't change.
Yeah,
LT didn't change the criteria for you, Myles Garrett. I'm sorry. Your 23 is not going to go overlooked. But the next man to get me 20 or 22 and a half, and he put some hard work to it, or he traveled with it. My top guys doing this, my top guys on this list are LT, Harvey, and Mark. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
It's just what it is.
Because you setting a record of doing or having great numbers and it not translating to wins, not translating to get into the postseason, it kind of, I don't want to say it nullifies it, but it takes some of the shine off because it's like, granted, you're on a sorry team, you know, but it didn't elevate the thing. It's like was he the difference in a few games that we won that we should have lost?
Thank you. When you start traveling, those 20 and 23s, oh, this dude is the difference.
Yeah.
Oh, 23, 5 and 12. I don't care about your offense. Was Phil Simms really that good in 1986?
He was good and steady.
He was good and steady. Was Joe Morris really?
Yeah,
Joe Morris.
He put up that 1,500 and it led that team. Morris put up that 1,500 and it led that team to a Super Bowl. So if I got a guy here and I know I can just tote that ball for 1,500, and I got a guy here who gonna 3 and out you, and you were running away from him, because let's be real, by the time LT got about 12 sacks in the season, yeah, they was already looking at people like
you taking away opportunities for him to get 27.
Yeah,
because you see what he bought, taking nothing away from Derek Thomas, but this is what separates DT from LT.
Mm-hmm.
Again, shout out to Harvey. You're doing it in 14 games. So when someone sets, like, if somebody rushed for 3,000 yards in a season, I'm gonna give 3,000. It's props.
You're right.
Because that's it right there. I don't need the championship. I don't need your travel.
Exactly.
3,000.
Yeah.
2,500. 3,000. 2,500. That's something different. But when the 2,500 guy or the 3,000 guy do that with a championship, game done changed.
Right. And that's what made Terrell Davis 2,000 yards so special.
That's what made Terrell Davis 2,000 yards. Okay, I done took 2,000 yards and added hardware to it.
Yeah, I got an MVP. I got a Super Bowl MVP. I got an MVP, league MVP. I got a Super Bowl, and I got 2,000 yards, and I set a playoff rushing record, and I set a touchdown record.
So that make TD 2,000 and Saquon 2,000 right here. All the rest of y'all 2,000.
Yeah.
So you got to be Eric Dickerson to get in the conversation.
Mm-hmm. And again, we're not saying that you set a record and you do stuff that you discounting it because you ain't doing anything. We're just saying that when you put up those outstanding numbers, if it translates to team success, it elevates the impact and it elevates how good of a season it was because it transformed the team. It didn't just put money in your account. You made sure that everybody else got some money too.
Transform the team. I don't care that you got 12 sacks 3 years in a row. The only player to do it since. Okay, when I look at the other person that did it since for 3 years in a row, in them 3 years, did he get to an NFC Championship game? In them 3 years, did he win the Super Bowl? Yes. I don't want to hear nothing about your little 12.
Right.
The criteria done changed.
Yeah, it's levels to it. It's not
levels to
it. Nobody is saying anything, and nobody is discounting Myles Garrett's greatness. He's a great player. He's gonna be a first ballot Hall of Famer. But it's not.
What's the single season passing record?
Peyton Manning.
Does anybody have the single season passing record of throwing for 5,000 yards? Well, anybody can throw 5,000 yards now, but does anybody have those level of numbers? I think Dan Marino threw for that many and made it to a Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, he made the Super Bowl and had 48 touchdowns also.
See, talk to me there. That's really the criteria. Now, when you do what Marino did and win,
yeah.
See, that's where sports is
mean ultimately what we're saying is all of that you did, all that greatness that you did it mean something in terms of team success? Because if it didn't, it was still great, but it was great individually, but it didn't do anything as far as it didn't contribute to the team reaching its ultimate goal.
3 sacks at 5 and 12 is not much of a difference maker.
Yeah.
But I don't care who you got at quarterback.
Yeah. But somebody's gonna somebody's gonna say something on one of the platforms, say, what you talking about, man? Y'all they saying Myles Garrett didn't do nothing. And that's not what we said at all.
Because they're saying that because they're a participation award winning era guy.
Yeah. So I don't, but yeah, I mean,
and I'm saying that with the data of 3 people, 3 of your NFL alumni who have given you enough of a goal to put on your mirror and say, that's what I want. I want the record. And I got to make sure I got a winning team and we going traveling in the playoffs. And that means you ain't just out there lifting weights, getting sacks. You got a leader. You got a leadership mentality going somewhere else too.
Mm-hmm.
You creating a vibe in the locker room.
And another record that nobody ever talks about because nobody ever really comes close, but nobody even thinks about it. Who has the single season record for interceptions as far as defensive, picking passes off?
Oh, the Kraus, the guy of the Vikings. What's his name?
No, single season.
Oh, single season. He got all the time.
Yeah.
Who got a single season?
Night Train's got 14.
Night Train.
And Lester has 13. But nobody comes close. You've had a few people who had 10, but nobody really comes close to threatening that. Especially these cornerbacks these days, they don't pick off enough damn passes.
Hold on. Are you trying to tell me Lester had 13 and 80?
80 before they went to the Super Bowl, I think. Yeah.
That was the season? Yeah. Or before?
That was for the season.
No. I'm saying, was that the Super Bowl season?
I think it was. I want to say that it was.
Hold on, we got to look
He
that
got
up.
Lester had 13 in 1980. Yeah, that was the Super Bowl season.
Did they win?
Yep.
The bar has been set. You see what I'm saying? Like I can't. I don't care nothing about your 13.
And he had 5 picks in the playoffs also.
5 picks.
So he had 18 picks in 1980. So he had 18 picks.
The only argument you're going to have about Lester doing that is to stick him. That's it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But they didn't ban it. It wasn't banned. So hey.
Yeah. I don't. When they talk about people catching passes with stick 'em, and it wasn't against the rules.
It's what it is.
It wasn't against the rules.
Jerry Rice had stick 'em.
Deacon Jones had 200 sacks, but most of the time he was doing the head slap. Was it against the law? Was it against the rule? No.
I mean the rule, right?
So if you do it and you're dominant in your era, it doesn't matter if the rules of engagement change later. You did it during your time, and you deserve to get credit for that.
You get 13 interceptions or 14 interceptions, I'm gonna have to put you at like 15. Mm-hmm. Then I'm gonna ask you what you did in the playoffs. Did I have an opportunity to get 5? Mm-hmm. If your team is 5-13 or 5-12 and you got them 13, I can't give you. Not me.
Yeah, so again, great individual season for Miles, but as far as the overall the team success and getting somewhere with it, it didn't do anything. Empty calories.
And
it is what it is.
And you had an opportunity, Miles, and I'm not taking anything away from you because I like your character. You're a great guy because that's what they're gonna argue. But it's been 100 years.
Hell of a player.
I will say this: you had more than an opportunity to be this year's underdog story. Because you would have been, matter of fact, what were the Giants in 85 before 86? Because it was all about the Bears, right?
The Giants were, let's say they went 14-2 in 85. In 84, I think they won. They were 12-4 because they made it to the conference championship.
Right, they were climbing.
Yeah.
So Miles, you had an opportunity to be an underdog story by at least making the playoffs, carrying his team on your back. But everybody know what the biggest story was. And which brings me to this next point. Underdogs. And I'm gonna make this a hit refresh moment. Who was your underdog this season?
Underdog. What play? We talking about player or team?
The team, meaning these guys are a story, and I think they're gonna have to keep traveling because I'm gonna say the Panthers right now. Because we go back and if we track this thing back, quarterback.
Yeah, we said they weren't going nowhere.
We said they weren't going nowhere. They weren't even coming out of the South. We laughed. Right now, for them to be a playoffs, and if they win, it's an underdog story. Jacksonville in there a little bit too.
Yeah. 8 and 9.
8 and 9.
And they hosting the playoff game. But hey, I don't have a problem with it. I think if you win your division, you should host the playoff game. I don't care what your record is, because winning your division should count for something. Yeah, I don't care what your record is.
Indiana University playing a little underdog story right now.
Yeah, so my underdog NFL would be I want to. Yeah, it's hard to beat in it. It's hard to beat Carolina. It's hard to beat them.
It's hard to beat them with an underdog story, right? Seattle would probably be the next in line.
I don't know. I thought they were going to be good.
They expected, okay.
Yeah, because they signed Sam Darnold, and he just had to continue on what he's doing.
Well, Sam Darnold himself might be an underdog story.
Yeah,
because of where he came from.
Yeah. Now I think as far as the individual, I would say Aaron Rodgers is an underdog because we kept hearing he won't even make it through the season. He's gonna be hurt by week 8. He's not gonna be able to do this. He's not gonna be able to do that. And is he prime Aaron Rodgers? No. He's only missed one game, and that was because of the fracture, and they wanted to give him a week to heal. But he's played well. He's only got 7 picks. He's leading them in the red zone efficiency has been excellent. He's doing things that they didn't think that he was going to be able to. Everybody on the outside didn't think he would be able to do. So I think from that standpoint, he's an underdog.
Okay.
And
he hadn't told no lies.
Yeah. And I think that, and of course, everybody else in the world is gonna say Shedeur is an underdog, but I'm like, I don't think he was an underdog. He was a 5th round pick, regardless of if you think he should have been or not. He was a 5th round pick, and you played like a 5th round pick. No, it's gonna get blown out like he was great. No, he was adequate.
Yeah. What's your all-time greatest underdog movie?
I got to go with the most enduring and endearing character in cinema history, and especially in the sports realm. Rocky Balboa. Rocky was not supposed to be, wasn't qualified to be in the ring with Apollo Creed. He was nothing but a club fighter, and he was in the ring.
Rocky won. Rocky.
Yeah, Rocky won. And truthfully, in all of those, Rocky, like we found out in Rocky 4, yeah, it was all manufactured. It was to help you hold on to the belt a little longer. Adrian, I'm a liar, and because of me, Apollo's dead. I know I ain't doing anything. I mean, if these fights, I was fighting a bunch of tomato cans. I mean, so yeah, Rocky wasn't as good. He had a lot of heart, but he wasn't as good for the most part of his career as was led on, as we were led after the truth came out that he was fighting pick fighters. Yeah, they was contenders, but they wasn't no killers, But so yeah, I have to say Rocky. Rocky is the biggest underdog because, and specifically when he fought Apollo in the first one, because this is the world heavyweight champ. This dude, that's who Apollo was. Rocky was a club fighter. He was number Fight Club in boxing gloves, getting $25 a night to fight Spider Rico.
Right.
Had his own trainer, and out of those $25 that he made for that fight, he had to pay them for letting him fight. Then he had to go and pay for his locker.
Rocky is a great movie. I love the Rocky series. Absolutely, top 5. But I will say this: Rocky is like one of the greatest metaphors.
Yeah.
When you add the Mickey element to it, how he was he had an entitled guy, and he made sure he was making sure that the playing field was not level for his guy.
Yeah.
The whole American trunks.
Yeah.
Black guy. Oh yeah, boy. Ooh. Yes, indeed. Rocky was like one of my greatest movies as far as metaphors are concerned. You got any more?
Underdog. What's his name? It won't work without me saying the character's name. I got to remember his name. It's going through. Steaming Willie Beeman was an underdog because He was supposed to be he thought he would be a first round pick. Because you had a coach decided, hey, he wanted him tackling 250-pound linebacker. Hey, I'm a quarterback. I don't do that shit. And I messed up my shoulder. Now I'm on the scout team for all these years. And when he finally got his shot, he did a little bit. He showed some sparks, but he was underdog. Yeah, and what's the name? Later Rashawn. I never liked football anyway. I just liked you. He wasn't even supposed to have the girl.
He wasn't even supposed to have the girl. Yeah. Any given Sunday, and they made it to the championship. Yeah. That was up.
Yeah, so I was thinking he wasn't expecting. And then he gets a shot. Spoiler alert! He gets signed as a free agent to go lead the new team with Coach De Niro.
Right. And you know what? Did Any Given Sunday deserve a 2? To see what they did after that?
No.
Okay.
I think because people were pissed off at the damn uniform, especially the Monarchs uniform. People were pissed off at the uniform because the NFL wouldn't let them do it.
That got doggone World Football League.
It wasn't even World League. It was
that was so sad.
Yeah.
That was so sad.
Yeah. I got one more.
Go ahead.
One more. It's a football movie. Another probably longer shot than Willie Beeman. Scott Bakula in Necessary Roughness, the 40-year-old freshman that came back to play quarterback for Texas State.
Yeah.
Because when they were coming off of the SMU probation. Yeah. The SMU probation. And he had to come out there. He and Sinbad helping them win one game for the year. And he wasn't supposed to. Yeah. So yeah, those yeah.
I'm going I like Major League because I like when I might be telling on my perversion. My lasciviousness, I should say. Is that a word? Lasciviousness. But when they had to win them games and win the playoffs, and every game they won, they'll take off an article of the owner's clothing. Man, I thought that was, hey, I'm like, are y'all gonna get it? Are y'all gonna get it? I love that. Now, my boy Tank asked me in text, because y'all don't see what's going on behind the scenes. Was I gonna be wearing that Miami shit? A mess. No. As I answered him in text, I said nope. But my Underdogs movie, let me get up and stretch. Semi-pro. Those Flint Tropics. Mr. Jackie Moon and Coffee Black. Those are my Underdogs. Semi-pro, Jackie Moon. I believe he was a musician, wanted to own the team. Ended up on the team. It was gonna be we talked about the fish that stole Pittsburgh.
That's what I was thinking of. That's what I was thinking of. The fish saved Pittsburgh.
Fish saved Pittsburgh. I was kind of gonna go off the track a little bit, but they didn't win a championship. He just wanted to play that game against the New York Yankees.
Yeah.
And the fact that I'm talking about another movie now. The fact that Montgomery Brewster was a pitcher who never got his chance.
Right.
And he finally played the Yankees on the field in Hackensack, New Jersey, whatever it was he played for. And my favorite line in that was John Candy, when he was pitching to him, and he was like, man, have you ever met such and such wife? And dude was like, yeah, ugly bitch. And before that, he had said, Irish white ugly bitch. Boy, hey, man. Shout out to Bruce's Millions. And for those of you who didn't know about Bruce's Millions, my generation, that was Richard Pryor, John Pryor. Classic movie. But that movie was actually made in the 1930s and 40s. Like, it's a black and white film.
Yeah, it's a remake. Yeah.
It's a remake. So, you know, I always kind of do that as far as the historical thing is concerned. But yeah, those are my films as far as the underdogs are concerned. And that was actually great, man. That was actually great. We can move back into as we get ready to close out this show. As you know, I'm going to do my Twins, and I spoke against them earlier. And I don't know if you got a Twin. I just kind of want to say this. Okay. I spoke against them earlier because it was being paralleled too much, but I just want to tell you all about the feeling I got. And this might be triple Twins. But I'm going to say these guys because they deserve their props too. My Twins are not out of the NFL. It's college. Okay. And the 2025 Miami Hurricane squad in the Cotton Bowl reminded me of the 1983 squad with Snellenberger as we started to become the University of Miami Hurricane. So my Twins, this week's Impact Notable, which is what we do. We compare players of today to players of yesteryear that you might have forgotten about, because a lot of people only remember Sean Taylor, Ed Reed, Warren Sapp. Y'all remember like 87, 91, 92, 2001. Y'all going up there, but 83, but when it all got started, you know, with Jim Kelly, that Jim Kelly era, you know, that Otis Anderson era, and Sebastian, I forgot his name, the wide receiver. But at any rate, them guys, huh?
I said Otis.
Otis. So all of that there, I'm comparing my Twins. My this week Impact Notable is the Canes 2025 and the Canes 1983. Now, y'all do something this week, I might bring y'all up to 1991. You know, I just wanted to put that out there. I don't know if Tank had a twin. You got a twin, Tank?
Well, we didn't get a chance to do it, but I got a twin from last week.
Okay, go ahead.
Because he wouldn't made it this week. But my twin from last week was Brock Purdy. The way that he played, not this past week, but last week. And I mean, he's gutsy. He's better at everything than people think that he is, and then people won't admit that he is. He's got maneuverability. He can move in and out of the pocket. He can run. He can run some. He can scramble. He can throw the ball as hard as he needs to. He's accurate. He can go deep. He can throw short. He can throw over the middle. He can make all the passes. Nothing about what he does is elite to the level that when you look at him, you say, man, that's a stud. But he's able to do every single thing that you want your quarterback to do. Now, his twin for me is somebody else who was able to do practically everything that you want your quarterback to do. He went to numerous Pro Bowls, but most of the time he was an alternate. And that was a joke. I think it was his 5th or 6th Pro Bowl. They said, man, he just keeps going to Pro Bowl. But because one or two other people back then would say, no, I'm not going to go. So he's next up and he would go. A Pro Bowl counts. He threw for more yards than you realize. He threw more touchdowns than you realize. He's up there. He's got more yards and more touchdowns than some Hall of Famers. And no, he's not a Hall of Famer. He's a Hall of pretty good. Not Hall of good, but he's a Hall of pretty good. But he was able to do everything that you want a quarterback to do when they called on him. That's Dave Krieg, who's known mostly with the Seattle Seahawks, but he also played with KC. He had a long career because he was always able to come in there. He was scrappy. He could move a little. He could move just enough. He could throw the ball where you needed it. He could do just enough. His best years were in Seattle, and he was slinging it to. He took over for Zim Zorn and was slinging it to Steve Largent. So my twins are Purdy and Dave Krieg. And if you go look up his numbers, you'll be surprised at where he ranks.
I'm gonna tell y'all something, boy. Keep it at 1,000 right now. There are 3 number 17s that I remember in history.
Mm-hmm.
Dave Krieg, Steve DeBerg, and Doug Williams. That number 17, boy. I don't even know when they do the little jerseys who has the greatest 17.
Yeah.
Was Harold Carmichael?
Harold Carmichael.
Harold Carmichael might. I remember Harold Carmichael as far as quarterback.
Yeah.
Harold Carmichael might have the greatest 17. I'm gonna probably guarantee Harold Carmichael.
Yeah, it's Carmichael.
The greatest 17. But at quarterback, Dave Krieg, Steve DeBerg, and Doug Williams at 17. Boy, that Dave Krieg was a throwback. I love that. So now, for this week's Impact Name and Notable, we have the 2025 Cotton Bowl champion, Miami Hurricanes, in the 1983. Y'all can graduate this week now. University of Miami Hurricanes. And Brock Purdy of the San Francisco 49ers. And one of the greatest 17s, boy, quarterback, Mr. Dave Krieg. Shout out to R. Oh, man. It didn't go? Which is our last word. I'm not gonna even lie, man. I already know where Tank going tonight. If he don't go there, I'm surprised. So I shouldn't be assuming. But boy, woo! I'm just gonna sit back. I don't know where he's going, but I think I know where he's going. I don't know. He might go there next week. But anyway, you have any final words, Tank?
My final words go out to the wussification in sports, in the culture of sports today in America. And the reason I say that, it's been going on, but I'm going to talk specifically about the Steelers-Ravens game. They are, for me, the rivals for us are the main rival, the Dallas Cowboys. And if you're not of a certain age, you won't get it. And the Baltimore Ravens. There is an innate hatred for all things related to the Baltimore Ravens if you are a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, and vice versa if you're a Ravens fan. You can respect the players and respect the team for what they've done, because it's a hardcore rivalry, and this past week proved it. There were people who came to the game one way and they left another way. Some left out with cut out when the safety, what's his name? I can't remember his name now. When he got hit, him and the two Ravens collided, I said to myself, I hope he's got a concussion.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I hope he's got a concussion. He'll be all right next week, but I hope he's got a concussion and he's out of the game. Not because I want to see a man hurt, but because you are the enemy and I don't want you to be able to finish this game, but I don't want you maimed for the rest of your life either. I just need your bail wrong so you can't come back this week. I saw so many people posting saying, I'm a Steelers fan, but my heart goes out for Luke. I mean, for him to miss that. I'm like, what in the hell is wrong with you? I'm like, you need to take your stuff off now. You're not a Steelers fan. Yeah, you did. Why and how in the world are you going to feel sorry for the person who was going to keep us out of the playoff? That's the enemy. I don't want any good to come to my enemy on the field. I don't want you to win. I don't even want you to play us well. I want us to blow you out. I am not upset, at least. I don't feel any kind of remorse or anything for Luke for missing that. I'm glad he missed it. I knew he was going to miss it, and I hope it haunts him for the rest of his career whenever he plays us.
Absolutely. Because that's the rivalry.
Right. Yeah, that's the rivalry. Now, what he does against other teams, hey, bang it through all day. I don't care. But when you come to play us, and when we come to play you, I need you to miss every kick. Ray Lewis played for the college team that I hate and played for the pro team that I hate. Can't stand him. But I respect what he did on the field. I respect him as a player. And if I ever meet him, I would tell him, you played for the two teams that I hate most, two of the three teams that I hate most in the world, and I couldn't stand you. But as a player, I respect the way you played the game, and you're undoubtedly one of the best to ever play your position.
Absolutely.
So y'all get over this feeling sorry for the enemy. That's your rival. Get over that. You shouldn't want anything good to happen for them when you're playing them. I don't want you to break a record, even though we're blowing you out. I don't want anything good for you to come to you on the field when we're playing. Don't want you hurt. Don't want you injured where you can't play anymore for the rest of the season. But I'll have no problem with you not finishing the game. So please cut it out. Stop this feeling sorry for your damn enemy. It makes no damn sense whatsoever.
Wow. And the way you ended that, stop feeling sorry for your enemy, it makes no sense whatsoever. Is the way I thought you were going, is why I thought you were going to go to Venezuela. And New York. Okay. I thought you was going to be in Venezuela. I ain't going to lie.
Yeah. I said I was going to start the year off with just sticking with this, but there's to be plenty of time because his own fascist ass going to do a whole bunch of dumb stuff between now and the end of the year.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Now, as we move into this final segment of last words, I have a few choice last words. And I don't agree or disagree, but it's just out there, and now AI done took over, and you got a lot of people standing with it. You got a lot of people standing on the moral ground against it, and I'm kind of indifferent, but I do see what people saying because of the level that you place yourself on when you put yourself on that plateau. But I'm gonna begin here with my last words. A lot of you all, and I might be being a little facetious here, and I might be being a little smart because I know me. So please, don't hold this against me as I say what I say, because a lot of y'all are just unread, and y'all don't have the privilege of understanding things, which is probably why you all are the adults that you are. But back in about the 9th grade, maybe even the 6th grade, I don't know, but somewhere in that junior high area, 6th through 8th, 6th through 9th. Shout out to Miss Brock. There was a novel that we had to read by Hans Christian Andersen. And that novel was called The Emperor's New Clothes. And the story was about this emperor who was going to a ball. And he wanted to have the best outfit over everybody. And he had already worn the top-notch fashion, so he just wanted to outclass everybody this time. So he got all the best tailors and all the best outfitters in the land. King, the emperor, make me an outfit. He brought them in, they make outfits, he put them out on the bed. Nah, that ain't good enough. Put them out on the bed, nah, that ain't good enough. Just not good enough. So eventually when the emperor went to the ball, he ended up going naked. The emperor, on this level of hierarchy, respect, honor of the kingdom, then went to the ball butt bunky because couldn't find an outfit good enough to beat everybody else that would appease his ego. Now, as a child, I didn't understand that story. I just know I had to know the story, and I had to get a grade on it when we did the little book review and we did the test on it. But the theme of that story was, oh Lord, hold on. Let me get back to where I was. The theme of that story was new clothes, vanity, conformity, and the power of truth and honesty, highlighting how pride and fear of looking foolish lead people, including the emperor, to deny reality, while a child's innocent honesty exposes the collective self-deception. It critiques in blind obedience to authority. The ease of deception is societal pressures to fit in. Even when something, now let's get this part right. Listen to this, congregation. Even when something is obviously wrong. Vanity and pride, conformity and groupthink, a little bit of honesty and courage in that too. But I say all that to say this. I don't have anything against what that lady was dressed like. It has a sense of nudity about it. The illusion. You know what I mean? Let's get that word in there, illusion of nudity. It's the truth. So when you walked out the house, whether it's for your husband or not, you wanted to create that illusion. So if you're creating that illusion of nudity, what are you alluding to? The question wasn't the dress. Never have been the dress. The question was who was in it and where they sat. As the emperor, you can't walk out there naked. Little kids watching. Just like that little kid that told it, that just like that kid that had to tell the emperor, you don't have on any clothes, fool. Children shouldn't have to tell you that. They're
Right.
impressionable and they're gonna tell you the truth. First lady, second lady, third lady. Children shouldn't have to tell you. Grown people shouldn't have to tell you what's morally correct. I don't care about you being a fashionista. The issue that people are trying to get at is this. When you set that benchmark there's a first lady out there that's 15 years old. That's gonna come up someday and say, hey, I could wear my nude dress. And her cut gonna be a little higher. Y'all didn't judge her. Why y'all judging me? It ain't what you had on, it's where it's going. Y'all know where we been. Y'all know where we been the past 15 years with these prom dresses. It was cool in 2010. Now it look like OnlyFans.
Mm-hmm.
Some of y'all don't get that. Some of y'all don't know how y'all going to the ball. Some of y'all don't know the influence that you have when you sit on that pedestal, when you have that ranking, when people have given you that ranking, when you took a vow to have that ranking. Yeah, that don't make you who you are personally, but that still makes you who you are to us. It just is what it is. And a lot of y'all justifying your outfits because this ain't about her. She is a product of, oh, this ain't as bad as how it could look.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of y'all out there wearing some stuff you shouldn't be wearing anyway. And that's why somebody felt like, oh, they could be able to do this. You know, out the Met, you can't go to the Met Gala because you know what's going on at the Met Gala. So I'm going to be as close as I am to it. But just like I said, a lot of y'all justifying that because you want to eventually wear a high skirt and be butt naked and go twerking in the church.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you really want to do. Because a lot of y'all ain't nothing but inner baddies that attend the Church of Latter-day Aints. Because you ain't saints. But keep thinking and letting that pride and that ego and that desire to go look better than somebody else and go be better than somebody else, and that inner, I don't know what's in your harlot, whatever you got in you. Keep believing that that's what's gonna be the end all for you, because it's just gonna get worse and worse if you don't cut it off. It's gonna get worse and worse. And you're gonna end up out there in the middle of the parade, just like the emperor, butt ass naked.
Mm-hmm.
And this has been the No Jazz Show. NOJASSSHOW. You can find us at or email us at nojazzshow@gmail.com. Please subscribe to us on YouTube at No Jazz Show. Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. Please follow and subscribe to us on YouTube at No Jazz Show. You can find us on Twitter or X at No Jazz Show. Instagram, The No Jazz Show. Thank you all in the chat and everybody for looking at us on TikTok at No Jazz Show. The store is now open. Get your twin shirts. You know, get all that. Y'all see the advertisements, everything when we get off this live and edit it. You can see the edited programs on our YouTube. Thank you for joining us on Facebook, on our No Jazz Show page, my page, NIVEKZDUPONT, Tank's page, and the locker room. Am I forgetting anything, Tank?
Yep, that's everything.
That's everything. That's everything. So I just want to thank you all.
Over the place.
We all over the place. You can find us. I'm talking about the hottest thing going. We moving in 2026. Straight up. Tank, do me a favor, because I got to honor you for making it to the playoffs. Don't salute them. Before you salute them, because like you said, and I appreciate that, the real rivalry that you all have. But we ain't in it. And you know who we are. I'm going to ask you to, as you're saluting and telling these people good night, I'm going to ask you to get up and stretch one more time for your team, because I know your back hurt, and tell these people goodbye.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, you see that? You see that? You see the back? Yeah, we in there, baby. We in there. We finna shock the world next week. Everybody think that it's done, but it ain't over. It's just getting started.
Let's get it. Peace out. This has been the No Jazz Show. Thank you all for joining us. Oh.